Hello, I'm back for part 2 of making this map. The greatest map in the world. No, I'm kidding, but Uktuk is going well. I'm first finishing this top left continent, and I'll get into another continent later in the video, as you'll see. But yeah, I wanted to create a big country at the top because they don't really have as good resources or climate or stuff. So they're kind of limited to only having their size. And this map is probably distorted. So, okay. Basically, my idea to get away from that is that this is only part of a huge, huge world. And the worlds are just different. They're just different parts. So I called this one Freegan. Kind of sounds German. And I kind of was going for that German vibe at the top because Alfred was also German. Now I went down this coastline, added a few small countries. And yeah, I named them kind of similar to Uktuk, like Inuit type names. That would fit this northern vibe because they really are at the north of the world. Now, would they actually be northern? I'm not sure. I decided to place the capital on this island right here for this country because I was like, I don't really see that many island capitals. I thought that would be cool. It's kind of like Equatorial Guinea has that island capital. It's a bit goofy, but I don't know, it works for them, I guess. So, yeah, it's kind of like a neutral zone, but that's still a bigger island. They could find stuff there. They could work it out there. And it's more south, so it makes sense. I call this one Foodland, kind of going with that German vibe again. Now on this side, I went with, again, as I said, more Inuit names, kind of breaking up this island into two language groups with just their names. All on the southern sides and eastern sides, it's all Inuit type names, or northern, like Russia or stuff like that. Yakutsk, Kokutsk. Those are more Russian, I would say. But I also went with some more like Native Americans. I'm not sure. Like, I just named them random stuff that made it seem kind of like in that general area. Yakutsko. That sounds more Russian, actually. But yeah, I was just kind of going for some chituk, like those tuk or like kut or stuff like that. They also kind of sound Turkish in a way. But yeah, that's what I was going for. Now, I made this one Chinook. Yeah, again, as I've been rambling on about. Now, it's actually funny. I wanted to talk about how long I've been making these types of maps. I've been doing this type of thing for like 10 years. I mean, I used to have these huge poster boards where I would make maps. And I would get, and a lot of them I didn't finish. I would just enjoy drawing random borders and stuff. I've always had a love for geography, and if you're one of the people that does this, then feel free to give me some suggestions. Oh my god, in the last video I did this too. Suggestions. I think my speaking has become worse after having Invisalign, but Now, this was the fun part. I created a second continent, drew it all out, but then I realized I didn't like it vertically. I really didn't, because it just took up this whole portion that I felt like something could go better in there. And I didn't recycle it because I liked the shape, but I didn't like it how it was there. So you'll see what I did in a little bit. But yeah, it was like, why is it in the middle? It looks kind of goofy there. So I flipped it around, and eventually decided, you know what, I'm going to move it in the middle, right there. And flip it around, make it look nice. I didn't want it too close to the other continent, so I kind of moved it away. I'll have to create a key of how far everything is. Like, that one, the continent that I made before is probably 3,000 miles across, I would say. Something along those lines. So, if we can go off that. I made a huge lake in the middle. And I just put a bunch of islands nearby and around and kind of figured everything out and made it look natural. And I decided then I wanted to make a huge country, because you can't just have all these small countries all around. So I broke up the island, basically, not island, the continent, in basically half. And the top half I just dedicated to one country. Almost like a Russian type country. Now, in the future, I'm probably going to have like 2 more bigger countries than this, because you just kind of need the size proportions differently. But yeah, this is very big. I just put islands near the top. I was like, it seems a bit weird that there's just one country at the top. So I added some landmass on it, and I think it made it look better. I'm not sure. I don't know why a country would just be up in there, but, maybe they migrated there first or something. I don't know. Maybe they're ice fishermen. That's for you to help me with. Help me come up with the lore or whatever. I actually like that island too, because it kind of looked like a cat. I was like, oh, that looks like a cat. Do you know that Reddit post where it's like, the world is like a cat and Australia is like a yarn ball? Kind of made me think of that. And I filled in those islands, and I decided on a capital location for this. I kind of had to deal with all my layers, because I had 16 layers, and that's about the max for Procreate. I decided to put the capital, in the country at the south, and that's it. Thank you for watching.